Good day. My name is Jasmine, and it is a pleasure to be here at Fairfax today to discuss social media, its issues, how to benefit from using it, as well as to increase productivity. Social media is a technology used by individuals, groups, and businesses to share information and opinions. Examples of social media are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn, to name a few. With new technology coming in, companies have taken a new course and have expanded into social media. In particular, Fairfax, with it publishing metropolitan, agriculture, regional, and community newspapers, financial, and consumer magazines throughout New Zealand and Australia. News companies such as Seattle Times and 7 News utilize social media facilities such as Facebook and Twitter to advertise their stories and quite frequently breaking news, which are then able to share with followers and friends. This broadcasts their work and attracts viewers to keep up to date. An example is that it allows 7 News to provide traffic updates, which are beneficial for workers, encouraging them to follow their page and see more of their stories. Overall, with companies such as these two, expanding into social media industry allows them to increase their productivity. However, the use of social media can open a business up to a wide range of issues, including defamation, discrimination, and 3 significant issues being privacy, harassment, and intellectual property. Defamation. Defamation is to make a statement that states or implies a fact that may damage the reputation of an individual, business, or group. This is seen through social media and quite often with employees and the companies they work for. Law firm Slater and Gordon mentioned that almost half of the defamation cases they received were related to material posted on social media. Of those, 43% were related to Facebook posts, with the remainder being Twitter, Instagram, and other general internet publications. Defamation online is largely increasing. Discrimination. Discrimination is the unjust or damaging treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. In the United States of America, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission received 99,947 charges on discrimination in employment. It's within this that race discrimination tops the list with 35.4%. Discrimination in the workplace is growing, and it isn't just based on race. People are being discriminated on age, disabilities, religion, color, and gender. Privacy. Privacy is a state in which one is not observed or disturbed by other people. Privacy within social media is extremely important as it is a barrier against people who intend to cause trouble. A case of privacy within social media has been brought to attention, being Arizona Facebook scammers. The mastermind in charge was jailed for 6 years for a tax rebate scheme that involved gathering information off Facebook and using it for identity theft. Individuals that were targeted were unemployed, reducing the risks of detection on the scheme. The perpetrators then browsed their profiles and contacted the individuals, claiming that they were from government agencies. This allowed them to obtain sensitive information, allowing them to make false tax claims on behalf of their names. The victims then weren't aware that their information had been stolen till they were to submit their own tax returns. This act of stealing identities is largely seen throughout the world. In particular, these privacy issues could largely affect Fairfax. Companies are largely seen to have employees who have a work account and a separate personal account. The work account could have private company information stored on this, and this can easily be stolen if not protected properly. The personal account also needs to ensure that it is a personal information account only, and isn't work-related. Therefore, when using social media, maximum privacy settings are recommended, as well as ensuring that when accepting friends or colleagues, you do in fact know them. This will prevent anyone from outside your company and friend circle from accessing personal information about you or the company, and largely decreases your chances of being attacked and used. Yet even still, you are still at risks of other issues such as harassment. Harassment. Harassment is the unwanted and bothersome actions of one party or a group, including threats and demands. The reasons may vary, including racial prejudice, personal malice, an attempt to force someone to quit their job, or simply gain sadistic pleasure from making someone fearful or uneasy. This is seen throughout social media and quite largely through Facebook. A survey conducted found that 8% of Australian respondents had discovered discussions about themselves online had been initiated by colleagues, and 1 out of 10 said that they've had embarrassing photos or videos taken at a work event and uploaded onto social media sites. This is seen as harassment through social media. One case in particular has been seen to have large amounts of negative feedback. A lady had placed an order online at Stacked Melbourne to receive her meal through delivery, yet when she was told it would take 2.5 hours, she cancelled and asked for a refund. The organisation agreed with her withdrawal and responded via text. She followed up the refund, yet was met with a rude employee and spam texts. The company later then sacked the staff member for their behaviour and went to Facebook to address the issue and offered the lady a free meal for herself and her family, yet she declined. Since the incident, Stacked has maintained a 1-star rating. Overall, this case has been seen to have a customer inappropriately treated online, which resulted in the staff member sacked and the organisation gaining a bad name. Fairfax could run into an issue much like this. A customer could have an issue, and a staff member could respond inappropriately. Therefore, to address this issue, staff should undertake training and information sessions to know how to appropriately respond to customers online. With these sessions, employees can then refer to terms to use when responding to customers. Intellectual property. As stated in the Oxford Dictionary, intellectual property is intangible property that is a result of creativity. In a survey conducted, 32% of employees admitted they didn't know if their company had suffered IP thefts in the past year, and 12% said they had certainly suffered IP cyber theft. The risk of breaches has been seen to have increased largely due to companies expanding into social media. In particular, the automotive industry believes it will increase to 64%. With Fairfax developing newspapers and consumer magazines, theft could occur before prints are made. Ways to avoid this are by having firewalls, controlling whom the organisation can access sensitive data, and simply by having a plan in place in case the theft already took place. People in your organisation should also undergo a hearing and practical lesson on how to secure intellectual property. This will give them the knowledge and insight to the growing threats and how to prevent these things from happening on a large scale. With these issues, privacy, harassment, and intellectual property, the effectiveness of social media is questioned. Yet in Australia, statistics from May 2016 override the negatives of using social media, as Facebook has 15 million users, Instagram has 5 million, LinkedIn has 3.8 million, and Foursquare has 17,000. These people who use social media would largely benefit companies whose main goal is to advertise and sell their products. They can broadcast their products out to these users. A large majority of these people who use these applications will understand the risks and how to avoid them. Privacy is easily controlled as most sites will allow for users to have maximum security. It's the people who don't take the time to set up these settings that will be affected. Harassment can be avoided simply by only adding friends within your circle or by blocking anyone who is harassing you. Intellectual property, however, cannot be entirely avoided, as even the people you are friends with can take your ideas. This doesn't affect the effectiveness of using social media. Fairfax should increase the use of social media to improve productivity based upon the following criteria: information sharing with colleagues, building business contacts, communicating with vendors, researching competitors, as well as a customer's clients and needs and wants. Information sharing is made easy with social media, as it is largely used today. If Fairfax continues to expand, employees can easily contact employees through applications such as Facebook to pass on news or rosters. Building business contacts through social media will also allow Fairfax to expand into international waters and provide them with new opportunities. It also gives them another way to be professionally viewed from companies wanting to do business. Communicating with vendors can also be done privately instead of having the public view all information shared. This can be done through personal business accounts created on multiple available applications such as LinkedIn and Facebook. Expanding into social media will also allow the opportunity to see what competitors are doing. This will allow Fairfax to keep up with them and provide just as much or more knowledge of their products and what they have to offer. Not only will it allow them to see what competitors are doing, but keep up to date with clients and customers. Expanding into social media will allow them insight into what they want and how to give it to them. This can be done on nearly all applications, being Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Although implications whilst using social media applications may arise, multiple prevention methods are available to overcome this. Overall, the use of social media will allow an increase in productivity, and it is recommended that Fairfax expands further into social media.